Oh no. Surly Dev says 31 coins. What fresh hell is this? Surly Dev.
Surly Dev is in the house.
Yeah, I think I might have a data saving problem here. Let's see what we got here for Surly Dev. I don't know. I was looking at this and I was thinking, what if I kill it while it's in the middle of saving things? That's probably not good. I don't think this is as robust as it should be. Especially when it comes to, folks' coins, which they, work very hard to collect, and which they can do absolutely nothing with. Let's play that.
Legend.
One guy.
He's in the house.
One guy got hit all over again. Hey kids, welcome. It's our show. We're gonna do a poll request today from Will Bennett that he submitted to us, and I thought today was his day for the little guy. Yeah, I did too. You never know. Before we do that, though, I want to just show you a few minor changes. I want to make a few minor changes to the damage dice. I'm going to initialize the data up here so you can see it here on the screen. I'll make that go full screen right there. And we'll send over a, let's go ahead and hide that scroll for a second. And we're going to send over a throw with, I'm going to put on 3d8. We're just going to go through all of these. First, I'm going to show you acid. So we made a change on acid here. Actually, wait a second. I should probably clarify when I say I made a change on acid. I made a change to the acid damage type. But before I do this, you know what I think I want to do?
Go on.
I think I want to make the changes before we go through and review all of these is what I think I want to do. Because there are a couple minor changes I want to do. Let's see here. Let's see, where's the other call to attach damage acid? It's here. All right, so when I call attach damage acid, I want to play a sound effect. So I think I've got is it dice sounds dot play? I think it's a safe play MP3, which does a number of checks here to do. And all it needs, I think, is a file name that we can pass in. And I've created some sound effects for these. And it's in the folder dice/damage. So sound effects is where we look for sound effects. I'm just going to say, so dice/damage. And is this a /? I forget. Let's look and see where we've got something else that's maybe got a slash in it. There it is. It's a /. Okay.
Okay.
So, hey, Rory, note the time already. I noticed an issue here.
Wow.
Safe play MP3. I started here. I'm gonna drop a marker right there, but I'm gonna start here. Tab, and then I hit escape, and it jumped me back to several of the other safe plays. And I had to hit escape a couple times. It was like it was dropping markers, extra markers for me that I didn't need. Take a look at that. No
problem.
And I was hitting escape to go back, and you can see the collections that were happening here. So here inside damage, I've got for each of the dice damage, I've got a different MP3 file for it because we talked about it yesterday. The acid, it seemed like we needed more of a sound effect for the acid to make it feel more bubbly. And and so I went for all the damage types, I created essentially a approximately 7-second sound effect for each one that we can play. So now when we attach the damage acid, I want to be able to come in here and say attach damage acid. And I think that's all I need. And it'll add the MP3 at the end to that right there. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to try this. Who knows if it'll work. Radiant. If I can spell it. Poison. And I think it's going to have an effect on the overall suspension of disbelief and believability of the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Piercing, piercing I actually like. I'm good with piercing, but hold on. There's the slashing I wanted to change. Let's double check the name of this. Piercing.
It's gonna be fun if all these things are happening at once.
We're going to have, I think, at most 2 at once is what I
Yeah.
think we're going to have. Let's see if we can turn on, it looks like I don't have the drone game loaded on this particular view. Oh, or no, wait, I do because people drones are flying. That means I can hit music. I got a check saying it was good, but I don't see the music playing. Got another one. What's going on? No music?
Whoever was flying around at the bottom just vanished off screen altogether.
My drone just vanished. Yeah, that's weird.
And Legendary Moo
Oh.
seems somewhat static.
And the music just came in.
But we have reactionary things. Good. Okay.
That's weird. Okay. All right. So not piercing, but slashing, I want to change. Also, though, I realized after I built this code, oh, you know what? This should be a for loop right here for the number of piercing pieces we want to create. I don't need to really change that, but for slashing, I totally want to change it. Here's what I want to do it. So let's come here. Let's add the sound effect. I like this music. I'm into it. This is going to be slashing. Like that. And for slashing, I want to do something like this. I want to create a num blades.
Yep.
Like that. I'm going to set it to 5. Something like that. I was messing current boot. Wait. Legendary Moose says certainly does something like that. I was messing with the VOD time marks, and that's good. But you need the VOD ID when
This
you.
is a discussion based on the idea of SurlyDev would like to make a command that would, in some way, note the time.
Yeah, I see it. You're right. I'm definitely read backwards. I'm definitely reading from bottom up. So we got num blades, and then what I want to do is this: a for loop for I to equal 0 to num blades minus 1, and then we're going to come in here, and we have an option of doing a lance or a sword. And then, so down here, I'm going to basically do something like this. Hey, look, if random dot max of 100 is less than 50, like that, then I'm going to do something like this. Otherwise, I'm going to do the other one, the lance, like that. Then I've got to calculate the angle offset. So when we come down here, we need to say offset. I'm okay with all of that. So down here, we're going to create a variable called I don't know, rotation offset. No, I've already got one called rotation offset. We're going to call it degrees between blades, and that's going to be equal to 360 divided by num blades. So we can get a even distribution of blades around it. Then we're going to come down here and we're going to say rotation offset plus equals. Actually, we can do this outside of this. Do it right here. Rotation offset plus equals degrees between blades. That. Then we get rid of this right there. So now we get a bunch of blades. We can have as many blades as we want. Now I want to have 5 blades around here, and that should work. That's what I'm thinking. And it's a random collection of swords and or lances. So that I think, and part of the reason I want to make it visually distinct, I play tested this with my kids, and they were like, well, I kind of like this the best, and I like this one the least because it's, you know, so much like the others. And I realized that, yeah, the slashing was similar to the piercing and the bludgeoning a little bit. So visually,
Yeah.
so I'm doing that. All right, so I wanted to change that. Here's my thunder sound effect. That. Damage force. This could also use a for loop, I suppose, but I'm okay. I don't need to. Whoops, what is it? Dice sounds. Looks like I didn't have all of that on the clipboard. Bludgeoning. Okay, psychic. How are you doing over there, Roy?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I'm just reading through the chat room here, and Surly Dev has decided he's going to have his conversations backwards so that you can read them in the right direction.
That's perfect. That is absolutely. I expect nothing less. Okay, lightning, and I think that's it. I think we got them all. If these are all in the right spots. Oh, nope, we didn't.
Okay.
We didn't get necrotic and fire.
Oh, that's right, because you started acid and worked your way down. Fair enough.
And so there's necrotic.
Cold as well.
Yeah, cold. I changed necrotic. I think you're gonna like it. I didn't like the skull on fire. I decided to go for something a little more gruesome. Just a little more gruesome. I think you're gonna like it.
I think when it comes to necrotic, you can never have too much gruesome.
My kids were like, what? Like that. Like, it's okay. It's a show for adults. But we're scarred for life, Dad. That's my goal, by the way. Don't scar kids for life. All right, what do we got?
Kids for life.
We need to have our conversations backwards. Yes. So it makes sense to Mark. Yeah, of course. There you go. All right, loading up. So now we're going to maybe hear sounds. Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be very cool.
And then we're going to work on the loading speed of this.
Bit of perf checking.
Yeah.
I like stuff like that. It's very gratifying when suddenly your sort of debug cycle gets quicker and quicker and quicker.
Yeah, I'm going to be pretty happy about that. All right, so let's send the player data over. It's sent. Let's switch to one of our players. Let's start with fire, and we're going to do a Paladin Smite attack with fire damage 3d8 fire. And I've muted the site. That's going to be hard to test.
Spectacular miss.
I think I hear maybe, I couldn't tell if that was, let's try one more time. Let's just do a regular attack with fire, 3d8 of damage. Here it comes. Yeah.
Hit.
You can hear a little bit of the fire.
I'm getting a feeling that generally speaking, background sounds for me are actually quite quiet. I don't know if that's coming across the stream that way. Probably should check.
Oh, let's check that. Is that true? How's that? Is that better? Sounds are quiet. Okay. Yeah, it's totally crazy. It has to do with my volume on my earphones. That's one of the crazy,
Wow.
unintuitive aspects of the balance, of the sound balance, which is why I think it's so hard. All right, let's do it again. Here's the attack again with fire.
Yes, I can definitely hear that now.
Damage.
All right, so there's fire. Here comes acid with a revised look as well. More bubbles.
It's a hit.
Yeah.
I'm buying it. It's damage. Here's bludgeoning. Here's the bludgeoning attack. Did you get that, Roy?
Yep, I did. Pick myself up off the floor.
Nice. Here comes cold damage.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, the sound effects really do add.
Here comes force.
Interesting.
Kind of that ominous sound there for force. Let's do that one more time. You can hear it. Let's see if I can get the music off here. Hold on. Here it is. Just. Yeah, I like it. That's cool.
Not bad at all.
Here comes lightning. Okay, I'm buying it.
Very nice. Yeah.
Here comes the new improved necrotic. I think you're gonna like it. Whoops. Oh, we had double damage.
Critical hit.
Cool. Critical hit. All right, here comes necrotic damage. This, I think, is going to blow your mind.
Oh, very nice.
Don't you love
Lovely.
how the heads hide back behind the cloud? They kind of
Yeah.
go down behind it.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm really liking that effect. Here it is one more time.
Oh, and look at all that damage.
He comments on damage if it's like more than 80% of the possible total of what you could
Nice.
get. So if you get a lot of damage, there's a comment on that. Ooh, Surly Dev says nice. Let's go after necrotic. We've got piercing. Let's listen to that and hear it. See how it works. Okay, I'm cool with that. That's piercing.
It's a
Poison.
very stabby dice.
Nice effects, both visual and audible. So Surly Dev. Cool. Here comes a poison attack.
And there's going to be some damage.
Okay, I'm okay with
Yep.
that. It's not bad. Psychic. I modified psychic a bit so that I don't think I did this on the show. I did this I did some color shifting on it and modified a bit because we did have hard edges around the edges, so it should be softer edges now.
Wow.
Dealing lots of damage.
Okay.
Nice.
Here's radiant.
Very good. Yeah.
Like it?
That's nice. Yeah. The sound effects are really adding to these.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely true. It's like this is like one of the things that I've learned in the last. Like maybe in the last month even, that it really started occurring to me that to piece together something so that you have full suspension of disbelief, it requires multiple steps. And it's not until you get all of the pieces combined that you finally really achieve suspension of disbelief. And until you get to that point, you have to recognize this is just a step along the way. So if I have
Sure.
only the audio or if I have only the visual, it's kind of like, okay, but it's when you combine the two, that's when you start to achieve suspension of disbelief.
Yes.
Here's
Yes.
slashing. We should see 5 blades now coming in. Yeah, that's better.
No
Oh,
sign
and look at all that damage.
Hold on, though. Oh, no, we got some mix. We have mix of things. We have, I was going to say, I thought we had an improbable number of swords. And here's the last one, thunder. See if this one works. So remember thunder, when we saw it, it was just kind of like blah, blah, blah. See if this makes it better.
We turned sound off somehow. Neither thunder nor the previous spikes seem to have any sound from my angle.
Shirley is asking what the
Oh, the stream is there though. Okay.
I'm not sure why or how that happened. I'm totally hearing him. Did you check it on the stream and you're hearing him on the stream?
They are on the stream, they just didn't come across Skype. That's kind of strange, because they were there before for other things.
Hold on. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to, with you, Rory, I'm going to come back, share the application window again. That is it. Turn on computer sound. Try one more time and see
Okay.
if now we'll do the
Done. Ready?
thunder attack again.
Yeah, that's there.
So that's thunder. And then
Very nice.
Here's slashing. All right, so Surly was asking what determines clockwise or anti-clockwise or counterclockwise, and as we say in the States, turns on the slashing knives. The determination there is some code I think we wrote yesterday, and it's here, and it has to do with auto rotation, and it's this plus minus between. So I say I want it to be fast, so between 60 degrees per second and 120 degrees per second, but plus minus between will give me a plus or minus version of that. So that just tells me which, but I don't want it to go slowly, right? So I don't want it to go between, it's not like I'm saying I want it to be a number between 120 and negative 120. I want it to be between 60 and 120, but also randomly positive or negative. So that's what I'm looking for there. And so that's what that plus minus between gives me right there. And so it's a nice way to add that. Picnic Rory, says Surly Dev. What does he mean by that?
I have no idea.
All right. Well, that is that's that. Let's go jump out to. Let's get the music back on. Actually, now that we're done with testing the sound on that, I'm feeling pretty good about that. One other thing, just minor, but one of my rolls, one of my attacks is Chaos Bolt, and Chaos Bolt determines the damage type after the roll. So if I roll it here, it's got 2 d8s, and depending on what's on the d8, here it comes, it determines the damage. And so what now is happening...
We can't see that, that's behind the scroll.
Oh, sorry. Let's close that scroll. I'll roll it again. Take a look at this. One more time. And it's so cool now. Now having these effects, now when I do the Chaos Bolt, so the 4 and the 8 determine the damage. And so now I can see and hear and decide what I want. So this is Force and Thunder. Playing at the
So
same
Chaos
time.
Bolt is randomized damage type times 2 in this case.
Exactly. Well, yeah, there's 2 of them, two elements of it. And if they're the same, then I get a second roll on it. So very cool. It's like coming here, say which, and now as a player, it's so much easier to tell which roll is which, and to say, well, because I get to choose which of those 2 types to use as the damage. So one more, and then we'll move on. Super cool. All right. Yeah. Okay, let's
Very
go.
good.
Let's go to our pull requests here. Let's go back to Mr. Announcer Bot. Let's go take a look at what we got here.
So do we have an idea how long initialization currently takes?
It's hard to say, Rory, because it depends on like the cached state of this.
Sure.
But let's go ahead and, I mean, that's a good question. So we've already loaded this once, and we are about to reload it. So I'll do a time on, since we assume it's cached, I'll bring up my timer, my stopwatch, and I will hit refresh, and we'll wait for that to stop, and when it stops, I'll hit the stop button.
Fair enough.
These are killer moves, Roy.
I'm doing exactly the same as you. I'm just, you know.
Well, we can hear that.
Sit still.
I want you to dance like nobody's listening, Rory. Surly
Just
Dev has got
looks
90
around the
meters.
cameras.
He just threw that at 90 meters per second. That's insane, Surly Dev.
And still caught it.
No one would do that. Surly Spammy has Excel at 809. What? Is that because of all the Surly Devs? Anyway, Will Bennett says, "Who touched my bottle? I'm trying to sleep over here." Fine, make your 3 wishes already. What are we at? We're at a minute? Oh, we stopped. We're somewhere between 30 seconds and a minute. I was distracted.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyway, that's kind of where we are. We're at least 30 seconds. Let's take a look at our image loading performance improvement here. Well, maybe I should read this first. So basically, looks like there's a project called Combine Assets that we're going to get. And then we're going to run Combine Assets with apparently the path to the WW root. It's a great file named images in that folder. I mean, all the images for that folder and subfolders. Okay, so it's going to be path to the root plus the subfolder where I want to have all of those images in. Part class will now make just one round trip to the server to load all the images. The image manager class is the one that actually does the loading, so we've got a separate class. This class was created static, but it really should be instantiable, passed apart. Fine, Will. Make me do all the work. Fine. Fine.
So, how big is this combined file likely to be?
I would say easily 27 megabytes.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
This could be interesting.
I think it certainly does. Where did my drone go? I see it. It's right there. Did one blow up? I didn't see that.
Wasn't me.
It vanished in the Bermuda Triangle again, he said. His drone vanished. Oh,
And then
interesting.
reappeared because,
Well,
still there.
He typed out drone just a little bit earlier, so it must have vanished when he typed out drone.
Fair
Interesting.
enough.
I'm liking this music. All right, hold on. Volume up. All right, that was awesome. Okay, yeah, Roy, dance like no one's listening to you.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm still wondering whether you've got cameras in the room somehow.
In your room.
Yeah.
You know, this is as an aside, but sex positive, my wife Karen, she'll frequently be talking to me, and then she'll be like if I'm looking in your eyes, listeners, viewers, as if you're me, and then she'll do this all of a sudden. She'll go like, right? She's looking over at camera 1 or camera 2 or camera 3, and I look behind me. I don't see a camera, but she will do this frequently.
She's Deadpool. She's breaking the fourth wall.
She breaks it all the time with whoever's watching us. I don't know.
She's aware of some kind of reality outside that which we can perceive, where in fact there are viewers constantly watching us.
This is so true. This is the truest thing that's ever been said about sex positive. I think that's so true. Wait, what is it she says?
Wait a minute. I want to know what you said.
We weren't comparing you to the guy in complete and total red spandex at all.
You were being compared with Deadpool because you break the fourth wall and look, because you're badass and you break the fourth wall. You swear a lot. That's part of that. We weren't talking about that. And this is a family show, by the way, so we won't go into too many details there. No, we're talking about how you look at the fourth wall, and Rory said she is aware of a reality beyond what we know. And I said that is the truest thing ever said about sex positive. She is aware of a reality outside of what we know.
Any of you.
So we got a static class we're going to have to change to instantiable. I'm cool with that. This way, each game can have its own image JSON file, and only the file for the game would be loaded when needed.
Okay.
Aren't as many audio files, so I didn't include those, but it's easy to modify the code to support audio if needed. No worries. Also, a little note here. Will says, use a bundler, and you can significantly speed up the process of all those source files. I'm like, all right, okay. I got to go learn about a thing called bundlers now, but fine. I'll go do that. Or load folder level if you want. Gialuna Storm, my daughter's in here too. Any of you? I'm not sure what she's saying there. Any of you, but she's out there. Oh, any of you are aware of mom's powers? Is that what you're saying, Karen? What did you say? She said? Oh, more than any of you are aware of mom's powers, what she's saying. All right.
Well, we're already aware of the laser beams from the Peacock, so yeah, I assume there are other things too.
Rory says we're already aware of the laser beams, honey. we know about some of your powers. Also,
we're going to stay in line here. We're not going to step out of line at all. It'd be too dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but when the Peacock lands, there's a massive shockwave, purple and teal shockwave that comes out of there.
Are you calling me back?
I'm not calling
I was
you
just
back.
saying, that maybe wasn't such a good move.
Well, Roy, you should have said that before I said that.
Well,
So it's interesting, by the way, that right after you
so now I need to jump out in front of your thoughts. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know.
Protect you from them.
It's like at least get there before Karen. You're like, I was gonna say. I was like, I don't know these things. All right. What do we got here? So here's what we got. This is we've got this combined assets project, which is out here, and you can see some of the source code there for some of the pieces that are inside of that. And then I'm expecting to see a modification to parts. There it is right there. And we've added a class called Image Manager inside of part. And so it's going to do the work of loading the images. Okay? Like that. And we'll take a look at that code. What else do we have? What are we still in part? We're still in part. Then we've modified this code in here to use the image manager. Okay, and we've modified sprite TS, it looks like as well. Oh, this is kind of interesting. So
He's
we're
using a
putting.
short form of the syntax.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so interesting. So I'm cool with that. That works. Okay. So can't wait. Thanks, Will.
Now, no pressure, Will, but we're expecting this to work first time right out of the gate because you've set yourself a fair bar in the past here. The levels are awesome.
There we go. All right, so we got a merge in there. Let's pull it down. Now wait, what do I have to do to get this to see it? I don't remember. What are these? These are the one changes I made here. Let's go ahead and push these up here. These are the added die damage sound effects. Plus 5 random blades for slashing.
So, if I understand this correctly, you've just merged that anyway, so you're going to have to pull that down before this will legitimately push back up.
I think it should work.
Otherwise, the resolution has to happen on the server, which I don't think is
I
usual.
think they're different pieces, is what I think. I can commit this. I won't.
Well,
push
that's
it.
true, yeah.
I'll commit this. I think we're fine. There's I was hoping to see the pole, but I'm not seeing. I was expecting to see a number up there. Is what I was expecting to see.
Possibly your client just wasn't aware that it was done yet, that's all. So,
Yeah, it did come down. There it is right there.
There we go.
Okay, cool. And before we push it, let's check it out the code. I don't know if you noticed this, but there seems to be
Little bit of a meadow in front of you there.
Well, Bennett, what if I really
Or
do
is
down,
that just,
Rory?
you know, a sort of a very large moustache just growing horizontally?
Using promises instead of events makes it simpler. What if I ever let you down, Rory says. So I'm thinking, by the way, so check out Surly. So Surly, thank you for the flowers. By the way, check out all the flowers.
I'm assuming the flowers were for sex positive, not you.
Oh, is that what you think?
That's my assumption.
yeah.
I mean, this is Surly Dev after all, so...
Surly Dev, so Rory thinks the flowers that Surly Dev is planting on my stream are for you, Karen, not for me. Anyway, all right, let's get to the code. But I'm thinking, you know what? I'm thinking I want to take the command, all these commands, and put them in a separate control room is what I want to do. Anyway, he's trying to stress the system is what I think he's trying to do. He's trying to stress it. All right, let's go take a look at what we got here. We're running. So...
Well, so do we have to do anything as like a pre-compile step of any kind? Do we have to run a new system of any kind? Or is this all going to happen in line?
I think we have to run something. I think we have to manually do it is what I think we have to do. It looks like he did not add this out here. Add the project. I'm assuming the project is out here. Really? You're going to take me out to source repo?
So, Will Better says no. So just build the new project? I did not add it to the solution.
Yeah, but we have to run it is what we have to do. We have to run the, hold on a sec.
It is apparently in the solution folder though.
Yeah. Just a sec. Twitch. CodeRushed. Mr. Announcer Bot. Combine assets. There it is right there. Was there a move we'd like to know the answer to? To what? What are we talking about, Rory?
Say again?
Something in the, did you manage to get the source projects running on your machine?
It's a good question because up until this point you've got a large amount of the assets that cannot be distributed. So
Right.
Will's had to go and inform the system how to be more efficient without the benefit of loads of assets to slow things down.
Right. Okay, so let's look at combine assets. So So command assets looks like it is a command line tool, is what it looks like to me. They've done this. Nice. Combine assets, path, and then the root path. So explain this to me. The path is... The first path is the path we want to start in, and the root path is where we want to put the file, I believe. That's what I'm thinking. All
Yeah,
right.
that sounds plausible.
All right. Let's let's get the path.
Will says, I created a dummy PNG and a dummy WAV, used regex to extract all the HTTP 404s, copied the images and audio to the correct places based on that. So essentially, he generated a huge amount of fake files in order to then build them all into this. That's good.
Yeah, that was my sense. All right, so I've got a bunch of assets here in Dice that I want to run, that I want to bring together and pull down. I also have, so for Dragon H, we've actually got multiple layers here, is what we have. So this is where things get a little bit complicated. I have multiple overlay layers, and all of them grab different assets out of here. And it doesn't, so it really makes sense to figure out which layer is which assets go with which layer, I mean to say. And then to move those into new folders is what I think.
That would make sense, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little tricky. So I think what we need to do at the very least is come down here and create something new here and call this dice roller, like this. This is going to break things like crazy. But I think we got to do it first. I think we got to, let's cut this out of here. Oh, it's going to be just a nightmare, I think. We're going to break.
Well, you could conceivably experimentally just do this on the everything, because it might even still be quicker regardless. You're right, though, for sort of further optimization, we should only pull down the resource that we actually care about for any given item.
In a momento. I'm sorry, what did you say, Rory? You said we don't have to do it for testing?
Well,
we don't have to go to this breaking thing that I'm about to do?
You don't have to. You certainly can. Theoretically, as you say, maybe we will pull down twice as much data as we actually need and be doing it twice. But potentially that's still quick.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe, but yeah, I think we're gonna have to do it. I guess I'm gonna cancel this now. But really, to make this perfect, that's what we need to do.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of assets here, and the dice roller doesn't use any like the blood splurting assets.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And they're big. They're all big, and so it doesn't make sense to make this really big file for the dice roller to open when it could be a third of that size. That's kind of what I'm getting to. So,
yeah.
Unfortunately, that dice is not going to move over there. I guess I could copy it and put it over here. Yeah, look at this. We got about 4,000 items in there, right? Yeah.
Like I say, one of the largest amounts of efforts put into rolling a dice I've ever seen in my life.
You're welcome. Okay, so
it's all about the quality, though, isn't it?
Yeah. So now we need to figure out Dragon H and where it is being used in the code. Let's go figure that out. I'm looking for Dragon H. I've got find all files, find in files here. And I'm really looking for it only in the TS files. And whole word, match case, find all.
Well, Bennett says another option is to zip the files and use a library to unzip after loading. So your web page would get the zip file, which is considerably smaller, and then unzip it in memory inside the browser.
Yeah,
that sounds some level of crazy, but that could work.
I don't want to do that. All right, so the dice sounds, we have to move the dice sounds 2 over as well. Well, I'm going to keep the dice sounds where they are, actually, for now. We'll keep this part simple. This is the scroll. Those assets are there. Yeah, I think we're going to have a problem. Part of the reason I think we're going to have a problem is because this folder.assets is static. So it's got to be set just before we load the resources in. We've got to tell it where we're loading these assets from. And so I think this is like ripe place for bugs right now. Dragon front game is there. Oh yeah, that's not good. To only see it in these areas. So Dragon front game must be setting it, and we're relying on it in our dice roller. So what I want to do, or not a dice roller, dice layer, where we load the pieces up. So what I want to do is change the place where we actually load these right here, and I want to come in and do this and change it to dice roller.
Okay.
If I do this, this test should be enough to test to see if this is working. Ducks under a blanket during the storm. How did my webcam enable? Wait, what's going on? I got to read it forward. Bunch of builders I had to work through. Sorry, conversation was running forwards again. I created dummy PNG and dummy wave. Yeah, okay, got that. How did my webcam enable then? What are we talking about there? Oh, this may be, is that related? Ducks under a blanket during the storm. Yeah, Hugo's in here. Hello, Hugo. Welcome. Got that. Mr. AnnouncerBot.
Welcome, Mr.
Yeah,
Dow.
we shut down Mr. AnnouncerBot. I thought for just a moment, but it was longer than that. Asset die roller. I think that should be enough. Let's see if that works, because I want to actually just test it only with the die roller. This is what I want to do.
Sure.
So let me kill every instance of Chrome. Let's go start this back up. See how much trouble we get ourselves into.
I can't remember what the code used to look like before you made that adjustment, but was dice roller suffixed with a slash before? Because you've got a suffix there and a prefix on the new sprites. How will that mesh together? Is that correct?
Let's take a look at my find results. Where are my find results? Other windows? Oh, there they are, right there. Find results. No, not that one. Not in 2 or 1? What? I just did a search. I don't get that.
That's not great, is it?
Try one more time. Yeah, they had a slash at the end.
Okay.
It does. Okay. All right. So we'll load up the die roller. So now we're getting from the other the other location. Whoa, that's not good. Yeah. So it didn't find it? That's what I'm talking about.
Surely Dad is in the house.
Well, that's an intro there from Mr. AnnouncerBot.
Yeah, this is actually that one change that we saw in there. We saw this change. This, hold on. Dice roller. Here, this is what we had. And I wonder if this is a browser related thing right here. I can't copy this. Right, and now we have this issue right here. I think, so cannot read property width of undefined. So this is what I had to do here to make that work. I think that's going to fix that. So images loaded, then let's try changing this back. Why can't I copy that? I really want that text to come back. It's in sprites. Will, any comments on this?
I'm just looking at the chat room. We've got Will Bennett suggesting that we run combine assets path to dice roller because without that there won't be a file
All right,
to retrieve.
We want to do that. Well, I'm looking at this error right here, which says.
Oh, I see.
This is what I'm looking at, and my understanding is that this will work either manually or, in other words, I don't have to go all in on this change. That it'll still work the old way if that makes sense to do. Is that true, Will, or no? That's question one, and then question two is this issue right here. Is the stream lagging?
Switch back. Oh, maybe a little, yeah.
Let's see what I got.
Not
right here.
hugely though for me.
It's not too bad.
Maybe
It's
5-10 seconds.
4 seconds for me. Okay, so I have this, which is basically in this line of code that's changed right here. Do we think?
It's almost like the promise is fired without the image having actually been loaded yet.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go all or nothing is what it looks like I'm going to have to do on this. All right, so let's do this. We're going to run combine assets. Let's get in the program, and we'll set a breakpoint right there. And we will give it 2 paths here. And dice roller.dice would be path 1. Okay, so we're going to do this. This is path 1. Oh, we're debugging. All right, fine. Let's go out here. Okay, and then we're going to say the folder's empty. We didn't build.
Mark!
Just the path of the dice roller is enough. It will figure out root.
I gotcha. I'm shutting everything down. Sorry, Will. Mr. Announcer Bot is dead for a little bit. Just got pulled away. I want to come out here. So there is the path right there. It's going to figure out the WW root. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess let's run this one. Start a new instance to debug that. We'll take a look at that. All right, so here we go. So we've got the directory, and it is the dice roller directory. And let's step inside here. Here's where it's going to figure that out. There it is. It found it. Nice. There's the root path. Cool. So we've got that, just set it up as a directory element. And now we're going to go in here. Image file name is equal to images.json. So here's like the thing we're going to have to figure this out. We're going to have to make some changes here with regards to what's built. File out new stream writer. Okay. Let's go get that folder. Okay. Looks like that's done. And let's go look at the... There's my image JSON.
That's a little bigger than we than we were suggesting.
Well, it's who knows? It's Jason, so you know, little. See what happens when we open this baby
You
up.
can open the. Okay. Let's open the 500 megabyte text file.
I just want to see what happens.
Okay.
We might want to mark the time. See what happens here.
Place your bets.
Yeah, I'd say mark the time. Take a look at that. 400 megabytes. Use Notepad. Yeah, that was probably a mistake. Yeah, it would have been nice to do that with just Visual Studio alone to make sure that wasn't CodeRushed involved in any of the delay here. But yeah, I think we're like, all right, fine. Yeah, we're like systems. Yeah, at 100%. Pretty much 100% here, kids. Well, should have dropped to the command line and opened it with Vim.
At which point we're never leaving Vim again.
I don't know how to exit Vim. I can't start it unless I learn how to exit. Well, should I end the task? Really? Fine. This makes me sad.
Yeah, Hugo's right. It is probably not just reading it, but then formatting it and color coding it as well.
Fine. Fine, Visual Studio. I thought you could handle a half a gig of source. Apparently not. Starting up again. Okay, so we've got half a gig of assets inside of there.
I wonder how Chrome's going to handle it. Well, it's not Chrome really, is it? It's the it's whatever OBS uses for.
Right. Well, it's both actually. Okay. So now then the next step is how do we grab that file if we're running the overlay is the next question. Is the let's go look at. I think it's going to be in part. Is what I think it's going to be. Do I have part open? Got a perf issue here. Response is, there we go. All right, here we go. Part.
Will says modify image manager to load that file.
Okay. So opening up part. Yeah, got some perf issues here. Yeah, you say it's CodeRushed. I'm not entirely certain that one.
I think that's a slanderous sort of thing to say. It's not CodeRushed.
Yeah, maybe we'll see about that. I was waiting for it to reformat too, though. So hold on a second. It was what image loader? Is that what we were talking about? Image
Yes.
loaded.
Load,
image manager. Image
Manager. That was the one.
Okay. Yeah. We're going to create this thing not as a static. Oh, wow, look at this. So this, you can use this to refer to the static instance of it. Interesting. I always thought you had to do that instead.
Says it's at the top. Probably a constant, I guess.
No, this is what I'm looking. I was looking for this code right here. Is what I'm looking for. So part is going to get. I think the image manager's got to be passed to the constructor of part. That's what I'm feeling. Which means we do have code all over the place. Let's do this. Well, we can do it for now for simplicity. I'm starting to agree with Will that we're going to start do it for simplicity. But yeah, I think we're going to have to do some more changes here to do that. So let's go take a look at Image Manager again, and the assets folder, the file name.
So where's file name defined at the moment?
What'd you say?
Where's file name defined at the moment?
That is, I think, that's in the constructor
Oh,
to
it's
part.
in there. Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to go in there, assets folder. So folder, boom. Folder plus the file name to lowercase. Images get, okay. If not images. So we have to load the images first. Wait. Where are we? Are we accessing anything to load the images? Images loaded. Image was not found, so we're just going to do that. So start with the images loaded property. This dot load images. Yeah, so here we go. So this is where we're going to change this to this, I think. I think this is what we're looking for here. So I think this is going to be this.
Will agrees with you,
That's what I think.
which is a pretty comforting thing.
Yeah, it's not bad. So I guess let's hit start and we'll try that. And I almost feel like I should set a breakpoint here. I'm just clicking the breakpoint button. Visual Studio is not responding. You're going to tell me CodeRushed is somehow involved there? No, that was just Visual Studio. Notice Visual Studio doesn't report itself when it causes a problem.
Sorry, I seem to be causing a problem. Absolutely no one else was involved in this. This one was me.
Yeah, like that, right? You know, it's like, yeah, I feel like it's really
All your
gonna
extensions are flawless. It's all down to me. Sorry, guys, my bad.
Maybe I'll write a program that checks that and that encourages people to uninstall Visual Studio. No, that would be really horribly
Keep
bad.
the extensions running, but leave Studio out of it.
Yeah, I guess. Start doing something. All right, let's try it. Let's try start on this. Hold on a second. Make sure I've got all the instances of Chrome no longer running. And we'll see what happens if we got this. So this is everything's gonna break, but the dice roller is essentially what I think is likely to happen, which means I think for the rest of the show, Mr. Announcer Bot drones and things like that, we might have some trouble with those. We'll see. Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens here as we wrap our heads around this change. Yes, says Will Bennett. He's crying. Let's see what we got.
But it's okay because our dice roller will load in super quick time.
That's a half a gig still. I don't know. I'm like, wait, what? Are there stuff in there we're not using?
I mean, that's the possibility, isn't it? That we have so many additional assets we're not using, which we're now lumping into this particular file. Of course, Will was quite clever. He used the actual web calls to determine what is being requested and only generated things for those. So his subset of data is potentially less than ours.
Yeah, his subset's probably beautiful. He's got beautiful data there. Hey, nice. We got some okay response there. All right, so we have that. But what do we got over here in the console? Nothing. Nice. Okay. Let's send over some data. Done. That part's done. Now let's send over a roll here. Here comes an attack roll. Okay, so the effects are not happening. Is that right? No, wait, I've got no effects. Hold on. Let's do acid. Let's try again. Attack roll. Okay, so here we go. So we're having our first problem right here. which is dice, damage, acid, acid, is what's happening here. And this is basically say if there's nothing there for the.
What if we were to look at the?
He's in the house.
Network?
That's just what I was going to say. The network tab will show us the requests that were actually made to the server. So now instead of requests for the various resources, we should just get one for images.json, right?
Yeah, well, we stepped through it, so we got that. I don't see that in here.
Surely dead. He's in the house.
Wait, what's going on now? What happened? I looked away at Surly, and then I looked up, and then this happened. Not sure what this is right here. So what is going on? I guess I am confused by. So it looks like that we're not getting the frame, but we're not getting the error message either. So I'm not sure what is happening there. Let's try another form of attack, a bludgeoning. That was bludgeoning.
That's a hit.
And then we have this thing again. This is in that same bit that
Right,
was
yeah.
changed before. So
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if it can't get through that items loaded, or sorry, images loaded section, the odds on that image is actually being available in the right way are fairly low.
yeah,
And that would explain nothing happening thereafter in there.
yeah, that I think is definitely likely to be true. The dice, yeah, we put all of these elements in here. Yeah, there's a lot of elements. So not all of them are being used at this point, but a lot of them are. And so we went dice, damage, acid, and those pieces are there inside of die roller. We've got that asset, the image. We found those. Yeah, I do not have a strong
So Will's previous theory on why this was working was some kind of exception inside the promise, which at the time was attributed to the attempt to get that file, which we didn't have. Now we do have that file now, and something is still going wrong, so it's unlikely to be that. But Will, what likelihood we could replace the promise section that we were just looking at with the preceding version of that code without affecting everything else?
He's in the house.
It says we can put a breakpoint in the part constructor where it returns the first image in the promise, which is not a bad plan, yeah.
Where does it return the first image in the process? I guess here? Right in this place?
Line
right
121, apparently.
Here. 112? Or
121.
Here? Okay, there. And why won't that be loaded? That doesn't make any sense at all. Let's do an empty cache and hard reload. See what's going on. Today I learned about the right click on the reload button. Yeah, it's cool. I'm a fan of it.
Only works, if I understand it correctly, when you've got the dev console down, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I believe so. If you hide that away, it's not available.
Oh, wow. That's super cool. Let's test over here. So right clicking, nothing, nothing. Right click inspect. Now right click. Yeah, look at that. Rory, you're right. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hugo Dahl, we're using Chrome in this particular instance, yeah.
So that hard reload is like crazy. Yeah, F12 will open the dev panel. Well, it doesn't feel good. We've had problems in the past where this is taking a ridiculous amount of time to load. And I feel like
Yeah, check the
we've had a
network
major
tab,
problem
see
here.
what's happening on there. Because that's all the requests and stuff. It won't show any that had already been launched, is my understanding, but if further ones are.
This is interesting. I've not used the network tab before. So it's super interesting to look at that. I think I'm going to kill it and restart everything.
Yeah?
Yeah, done. It was that fast. Yeah, because we didn't have the breakpoint here, which was pretty disconcerting.
That's concerning, right? Yeah.
Come on. Come on, Visual Studio. Really? This has been reporting coders a couple times today, and I'm like, what? Really? Like, what? What's going on? You really think we're doing that? It's possible, but I want to get, I guess we're just mark the time on that.
It'd be nice to have evidence, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we've been talking to the Visual Studio team about that, getting evidence to that so that people can submit that if that's actually the case, and they are working on a solution for us. And they did not tell me that that was secret information, so I've
Just before you bring this up, Mark, can you bring the network tab up so that it's in place when you hit, when you actually navigate?
Here, like this?
Yeah. Because this will show us any requests being made by the browser back to the server.
I'm going to stop these because everybody's heard these a couple times. Say that one more time, Rory. It's because it's what?
Because basically this is where Chrome will report to you every request that the browser makes back to the server, and we expect that one of those will be for the large file.
All right, so should I do a refresh?
Yeah.
Just a normal reload? Since I'm scared of this one now?
Dealer's choice.
Yeah, let's do that. I don't know why it jumps over to the sources tab when I'm on a different tab. All right, so here's what we got.
And it's also showing you on the right-hand side there how long each one of them took. Oh, that's jumped a bit.
I just clicked on this and we lost a whole bunch of stuff here. Codebase Alpha is here. Hey, welcome Codebase Alpha. We are deep in debugging. It's not fun or exciting, but that's what we're doing.
This is an attempt to fix perf. We've got a pull request in which we are lumping essentially the assets into a single file at the moment. The idea being that there's an overhead on each file, and thus if we pull them all down at once, perhaps this will increase the speed at which we can do so.
Yeah, so image.json was there. I guess we can try one more time. Do we have our breakpoint back in Visual Studio? We do. So yeah, I guess a restart was needed.
That's an improvement at least.
Yeah, it is. There's the... Wait, I sent the data. Interesting. I'm sending the data, but it's not clearing this piece right here. It's not clearing this. When I click send player data, or initialize player data, that's weird. Nothing is happening. That's like really weird. How does that? How did signal R? How did we lose signal R? Huh. I gotta refresh this. Let's do the network tab again. This time I'm hitting right click on this. There we go. Oh yeah, something's going on. It is not good. Oh wait, are we at a breakpoint? We're at a breakpoint.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what our problem was. Oh, but Visual Studio doesn't know it.
We're not at the studio one, yeah, but it has stopped on the same location within within Chrome.
Looks like we've got...
Which is curious.
Yeah, it feels like there's a disconnect here. Is there, I don't know, is there anything we can do and explore here in Chrome, Will, to figure this out? Is our question to you?
We have a big old array of undefined there.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Okay. Well, it knows the right length.
Which is definitely good, yeah. So frames to load, images push.
This images array is a length of 0. This is from the call to image manager. The assets folder is game dev assets die roller.
Does the image manager understand that the images need to be suffixed?
Yeah, I'm wondering if we've got a problem because of the location of it. Is what I'm. Does it need to be? I'm sorry, Roy. I think the answer is not necessarily no. Actually, hold on. Let me withdraw that. Let me instead go to this thing. I'm wondering if the problem is because the images JSON is located in the wrong location. What's interesting to me about that is that, so it says get, and it's calling get in here. It's assets folder that we're passing in. But let's see what image manager get does.
I was going to say, isn't that a virtual path now within images.json?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering if it is. Get the folder, the name is this, and then we're trying to find that image. What I really want to do is look at images inside of image manager. That's what I really want to do.
Will suggests putting a breakpoint in image manager where it creates the images.
All right, let's look at that. I'm going to say that's here, line 39. Look at that.
Sure.
No breakpoint there. Let's put it in here.
Will confirms yes, line 39 is where he intended.
All right, so I'm going to do a refresh on here.
So part of the slowness of a refresh is likely to be down to, do you remember we had issues, when we had big performance issues and we were creating excessive numbers of things, Chrome seemed to have a difficulty in disposing of the previous instance before it would then have a fresh look at things. And I'm guessing that our 400 meg file, 500 meg nearly, is going to be one of those things it may have a challenge getting shot of before the refresh kicks in.
Maybe.
Music's working though.
Yeah, the music is working. I wonder if I can drop a meteor on it. Oh, I can.
Invisimeteor.
Yeah, so absolutely no assets, but the items are there, we just can't see them. Shift Escape should show memory use per tab. Shift Escape. I'm hitting that in Chrome, nothing's happening, but I'm right-clicking Chrome and nothing's happening, so Chrome is kind of feeling locked up. I feel like I'm killing Chrome again.
Yeah.
And restarting.
Dear Chrome, why you no like 500 meg file?
Yeah, why no? Why no? Why you no like? All right. Kill Chrome. Try again.
Hugo suggests Menu More Tools Task Manager, but I suspect not a lot of Chrome was responsive at that precise moment.
I bet you Shift Escape works for me when I start up this time.
Yeah.
Well, I tried it. Nothing happened, but I want to get out to die rolling.
I wonder if Shift Escape isn't a keystroke that's eaten by the dev.
It worked. It just showed up on
there we go.
Screen. There it is right there. I love it. What's this guy? This die roller. Cool. I'm a fan. All right, waiting for player data to be initialized. So wait, we didn't get to a breakpoint? Oh, there it is right there.
Hey, breakpoint. Now that's a good start.
Okay.
Right, so what's the UR? Oh, right, that's, yes.
Data, it's space 64.
It's pure data, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's look at the key. I think this is the really important part right here.
I think you're going to be a while in that map, aren't you?
Oh, because we're getting all the images.
Yeah.
Okay. Got 41 images. What's my key? So that key, oh, it's all lowercase. I wonder, well, no, I think I saw two lowers later happening in there.
And I think that also translates based on your file system. So since your Windows, it should be case insensitive. So it should still provide that, provided it's the correct path.
So we're getting all of these. Here's acid right here. Game dev. I'm going to just copy the value. And I just want to make a note of that here, in case we need that later. So there's that key. And the images that are in there, we have a width, height is 0. I'm not sure if I should be worried about that yet or not. All right, let's keep it running.
I mean, it seemed to collect the images in a pretty short space of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's look at the, let's get that breakpoint. Will says, so it looks like it is adding the images correctly. Are you concerned, Will, that the height and width, the height was 0? We were looking at that data. Is that a concern? Then I think we need a breakpoint here. Oh no, we lost our breakpoints.
Will's not concerned by the height and width.
Okay. Well, the problem is we lost a breakpoint here in line 112. We're going to have to set it over here. Sources. What? Why don't I see the sources here? Looks like I'm now not responding in Chrome. Okay, this is just a while to bring it up. Game engine part. Okay, so we can clear that breakpoint, and I think I want a breakpoint here. That's what I think. Initially player data, and let's do a damage only roll of type acid. Okay, there it is. I don't even have a breakpoint there.
It's a breakpoint that didn't break much.
Because it's already been created. It was already created, I think, and so now we've got errors
Oh, that's
out
possible.
Here. Yeah. I'm wondering, let's see. Yeah, so this is the error messages coming in telling me the problem. Okay, I think we have to refresh again with our new breakpoint here and look at that one more time. Is this going to take forever? Your theory, Rory, is at this point. Go ahead, what?
You appear to be stopped at the top of that file. There's literally a highlight on the function.
What is going on?
Are we now stepping through?
I'm saying resume execution. Yeah. I'm now hitting F8. Why is it stopping in all of these places?
Well, it says that the particular error we came across is okay because that code is allowed to be called before the images are finished loading. It's like Chrome's unsure anymore. It says, please verify all these files are okay.
Yeah, I'm just like hitting F8 and it's like stopping at places that don't really have breakpoints. Okay, that was crazy to me. All right, so that's what was happening before we were actually running. Concerning error is the image being undefined in sprites. There's where I want to stop right there. See if I can refresh again without it stopping at all those hundreds of places. Yeah, Chrome's unresponsive. I'm right-clicking and the menu's not appearing. Even this is like not smooth. Shift escape. Nothing happening. I'm gonna kill it, I think. Wait, I saw something just as we moved away. Wait, did it shut itself down? Yeah, it's gone from my Alt tab. I think it shut itself down. No, wait, hold on. I see it in the taskbar. Oh no, that's this. Okay. Well, that's got to be this
That's
guy.
a lot of memory going suddenly.
That's on the
there, isn't it?
browser. Yeah, but it's like it shut it down. I can't end that process. Maybe there's a problem besides the file. Maybe you need to refactor to load per folder instead of a folder and a subfolder. Widen the task column. Great suggestion. Alright, I just killed it. Alright, so one of the suggestions was maybe there's a problem with the size of the file. Maybe you need to refactor to load per folder instead of a folder and its subfolders. Well, let me see.
If we were to move the other folders, the non-dice folders, somewhere else temporarily and regenerate the images JSON, it would be smaller.
Yeah, we could do that.
We
The problem
couldn't
is
leave things like
everything-
that, though.
Yeah, I think though, I think I want to do something different is what I think I want to do. I think I want to roll back the changes, and I want to try a different approach. And I want to think about what we've seen for a little bit. Change everything in dice roller and below, right? Now I get that. But the problem is everything in dice roller is needed for the dice roller function, just about everything in there.
Okay, so yeah, okay. So I was imagining that there was things from Dragon Age and other things in there as well. But if not, then that obviously isn't much of an optimization.
Yeah. So what I think I want to do is I want to kind of go back, roll back some of these changes here. Is what I want to do. And they're really, the changes I want to roll back are in part and sprites, I think is what I want to do. And I'm not, is this the best way to roll back? I'm not super familiar with this. Reset to commit. Folders that will reload all images per folder. No, I get that. Images per folder, not all folders. No, I get that, Will, but I'm thinking that I think what I want to do is I want to think about I don't have a strong sense of what to do at this point, and I'm not, it's not clear to me in terms of refactoring what we have to do with regards to that. So I'm like thinking, do I really want to spend time kind of trying to muddle my way through it, or, and here's the second idea, revert these two changes in these two files right here. So we go back and we have images loading, and then take a secondary approach to optimizing the loading, which is the one I was thinking about implementing, which is the lazy loading. And so that's kind of the approach I was looking at there. What's your advice on this, Will? Do you want me to go to working copy tab of source tree?
So that shows you the changes between what you last pulled and what you have.
No, wait, what do I want to do here? So I've got, yeah, these are my last, but the problem is these are not the ones I want. I want from an earlier version of this, is what I want. So
there's a button on the mid right hand side called reverse hunk. Does that refer to individual changes?
Say that again, Rory?
On the right hand side of your screen, about midway down, top of the code preview section.
Reverse hunk. Yes.
Does that refer to an individual change?
Yeah. It refers to
So can you pick and choose?
This is the only, oh, here we go. Here we go. Yes, I can. That's exactly what I was looking for.
That's a nice facility, potentially.
Yeah. So this is the one I think I want to reverse. Right
You
here.
could keep the bulk of the work and then
yeah.
just, yeah.
But before I reverse that, let's go copy that because I want to kind of put it right back in. Part.ts, and we're at about line 50. No, we were not at line 50. I'm not getting this. I thought these were line numbers. What is that? I don't know what those numbers are right there. So we're looking at this code right here. This is what we're gonna, I'm gonna copy that to clipboard. That's what we're about to lose. We just hit reverse hunk on that. And it looks like we lost it and it's been changed. Kind of cool that the selection remained the same here. All right, so there we have that. I can kill this, so we don't need that. And then I'm gonna do this. Hold on. Look at this, Rory.
Mm-hmm.
Note the time. I hit, I'm inside here, and I hit copy, and it looks like smart copy is going out to grab this when I'm in a comment here in this code.
All right.
I'm about to check this code in. Let's save this. All right, and so we reversed that hunk out, and I think that's the only one I wanted to reverse. I'm okay with the image loaded. Yeah, I'm okay with that. All right, so there's that. And then let's go over to Sprite and let's reverse this hunk as well. So we're going to do both of these, but I think I want to do the same thing over in Sprite. Grab that code and save it so it's there for reference so we know what. Where is it? New constructor. Let's reverse the hunk there. Did that do it? That totally did it. Okay. All right, so put this out over here. Okay, now with those two changes, is everything else gonna run? Let's see.
We're no longer actually using the image manager, correct? So we're actually back to the raw resources.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's correct. Let's double check that.
The nice thing about that is it isolates the set of code that, you know, where there is anything going wrong to pretty much those two functions, or at least things triggered by those two functions, assuming that this continues to work now.
Yeah. And we have no references to image manager outside of image manager. I'm hitting tab key here. So that should work. Let's come in here, get to the die roller. Now, this next thing we're testing is, can the die roller find the images from that new location? Because we're setting it in the new location. And I would guess that the answer is yes because of the time it's taking to load the page. Because we're back to that older, longer, that load time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then it says you need to roll back sprites too. I think I did that. I think I rolled back everything I wanted to roll back. Did I miss something in sprites? Yeah,
I think that came in fractionally after you actually were doing it. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Bit of a delay issue.
Okay. All right. Still loading.
Well, that's something
The
there.
house.
Nice. And we got some images coming up on screen. Look at the bit coins
Yep.
showing up. So that's good. This has taken like a really long time though to load up. I'm a little worried about this and Chrome. 'Cause we've had these issues where it's let's get some music playing. Can we do it? Music's not playing. Is it because it hasn't loaded yet? Maybe because it hasn't loaded all the way. This means the error was from the other components, not the dice roller. Oh, that's interesting. It could be, but as I recall, one point in time we did have a problem and it was trying to get the acid out and get that acid and it couldn't. I think it couldn't find it. And I was wondering. I'm just wondering about the keys. I feel like it's a problem with the keying, but I want to. I want to really fully understand it before I go in and, okay, there we go. We've got that load done. Let's initialize the player data. That's been done. Let's change the player, do a spalled and smite attack.
That's a hit.
That feels like a pretty good restoration there.
Yeah, let's clear the dust. Damage. All right. Okay. So good. I'm glad that we've got that easy going forward and back now that we can do for this. Let's go look at that code that we left in here, commented out right here. So here's where we're trying to get them, get the assets. Makes sense for the image to be undefined in that case. Yeah, if it was, but the dice, but we were trying to find that acid and it wasn't finding it. That's the problem that we were having, is that it was coming back essentially undefined, and then we were getting that frame error elsewhere when we tried to draw it because the image wasn't there. That's my sense, is what I recall was happening. Open the image.json file in Notepad. Okay.
I'm curious, Will, what was the size of your images, Jason, in the test data you used?
So we're looking at this.
Ah. Will says his file was about 1 meg. So it's a little bit different.
All right, that's loading. While that's loading, yeah, even Notepad.
Hugo
Oh, really?
is in the house.
Hugo says anything over 1 megabyte makes it fail. All right.
The distinction in this case, at least, being that it's only Notepad, and killing it is not exactly a big loss.
Let's wait for the program to respond. I'm just going to play with it. I don't care. I'm going to actually go down the second path, which is what I wanted to do, which was lazy loading. I had a rough idea of how to do that a couple days ago, and so let's kind of look at that. I want to go to the dice layer. Let's look at the dice layer. That's where we have.
I'm afraid, Mark, I'm going to have to take my leave and catch up with you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. So hope things go as well as possible. Obviously, lazy loading is a nice alternative approach. So yeah, I look forward to seeing how it goes.
All right, buddy. Thanks so much. See you in a bit.
See you soon.
What do we got? Notepad definitely not responding. Must I kill it? All right, let's kill it. Okay. So, do I have music yet? Oh, wait, there we go. Just finished. Now can I get music? There we go. All right. So, all of these loading pieces, this is what I think. So my theory on this, so I'm going to take a different angle on this, and I want, because I think both I need time to think about what we've seen in terms of how to fix that, and I think also if you could take a look at that too, and adjust your data, get it up into the same numbers that I've got here, like basically half a gig, and also do this thing that I've done where I have the images JSON not in the W root, and just make sure that that's not messing with the keying, because I'm wondering if that's the case, if the keys here are relative to dice and not relative to WW root, and I'm wondering if that's my problem here with these. By the way, I could come up here. I haven't tried Notepad++. See if I can go find that out there. Nope, I want a 64-bit. Running the installer. There we go. Keys are always relative to WW root unless you specify a different root. Second parameter to combine assets, which you didn't. Okay. All right, I've got Notepad++ open. There it is right there. Let's go see if we can open that in Notepad++. I'm not responding here. And not quite there yet. Here we go. Nice. Look at that. All right, so that's what it looks like. Yeah, so that's the key. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Code folding and all. There's an option in the menu, Will, what are you talking about? There's a top level context menu item. Oh, that's something I missed. To open in Notepad++. Let me check that just to make sure I don't miss that again. Oh, there it is. Edit with Notepad++. Got it. Super cool. Okay. Super impressive. We got 0.5 gigabyte of data inside of Notepad++. Open that up nice and quick. Love it. So these are all the folders. So this is the key, and then this is the file name, I guess, for it. So the key is the folder path to it. That, I think, is it. Now search for ACID. Okay. Right, now I got you. I hit Control F, but I didn't see any UI, and I typed in ACID and hit Enter. There it is right there. Oh, wow, look at that. I don't think can you see that off to the right? Let's see. Yeah, it's hidden by some coins. It found ACID in the... Oh yeah, we're finding ACID in the data. That's awesome. Impressive. All right, I think I want to do a /ACID. There we go. This is what I copied when we were debugging, stepping through. As the name. So it should find it, but it didn't find it, as I recall. So I don't know. Anything else you want me to try, Will? You want me to kind of reverse those changes, put them back in, and try anything different? If not, I think I want to try the making the other stab at. You think the error was from the other components? Yeah, I don't think that was the case. I mean, because the other components, we saw the error, as I recall, inside the inspection window here. It was over in the console here, and the other components aren't accessed or used in this die roller. So I don't think they were there. That's my gut feel. And we still didn't see any images. That was the other problem, is we didn't see the images. Okay, so let's look at what the idea is here. I think you're confusing two different errors. I could totally be. I'm totally open to that. So I'll tell you what. I'm going to go on path 1, or path 2 rather. The error in draw by index is expected. But why is it, so what's your theory on why we weren't seeing any images? Do we have a theory on that yet? All right. And with that said, I'm going to now move, so I'm going to let Will you think about that. I'm going to try and now, important error is the one where the image was undefined in sprites. Let's go to refresh my memory on that. Sprites. Oh, right. It was in here. That was my problem. Anything you want to do with that code? Well, path you had ended with acid. Yes. Well, I don't think it was the path. It was the full name of the full key to the file. No. No. No, it was acid.png is what it was really. It was .png is what I was looking for. That's what it was. Well, then it says, which would happen if the image was not found. Key is just the folder, and within that we've got different elements like oh, wait a second. These are all images. Why does this have acid here? I'm not sure about what this is, purpose of that is. I don't see a dot anywhere in here. I don't see the dot acid that you're referring to, Hugo. You should do your lazy loading. I'll try to create a huge file. All right, let's do that. Yeah, this is curious, and I'm not sure. I don't see the dot you're referring to. If you're referring to this one, is the piece that starts with a dot, I guess, maybe? Folder, file name, images. And those are the images in order, I take it, right? The zeros, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, that sort of thing. All right, let's try the lazy loading. File name without the trailing numerical indices. Yeah, and without the .png at the end too. Okay. All right, let's go back to where we were. Dice line. All right, so my thoughts were that we only go out and do the loading. We call the loading on them. We only create a new instance of it when we are first asking for it. So I think we can do this with paw prints. We'll start with paw prints on here. And to make this work, I think what I need to do is I need to turn it into a property. Where on the read access of it, we do the loading if it hasn't been loaded yet. So let me just put a marker here for a second. And we're going to come in here and we're going to create a new property. And we're going to call this paw prints. This. Let me do this. Let me comment this out for a second. Let's turn this to an underscore. Good. And now what I want to do here, this is going to return a sprites. And if not paw prints, then what I want to do is that. And then we can return them. So that's kind of the idea there. And so now, if not this dot plot this. All right. What's my problem here? Let's get that done. Okay, so now there's get paw prints right there. Now everywhere else, I'm going to do that. Like that. Okay, good. So now we've got just this here. So that's like essentially the theory behind it. So run this now. And then the first thing I'm going to do Visual Studio. And so that's one change. Looks like Hugh and Will are both solving this problem or looking at this problem on the image loading. It should be very cool if we actually solve it here. If you guys come back with a suggestion here while we're coding, while we're doing this coding. Let's see how we're doing here. Still loading. So at this point, let's see if we can set a breakpoint in here. Okay, that's done there. Got some dogs who are very excited about something. There's the data there. Let's do let's do a wild animal form attack, which requires paw prints to come down. So did we get a breakpoint? So we got a breakpoint. All right, cool. So here comes the wild animal form attack. And we're in a breakpoint, I believe. Weird that we're not switching to Visual Studio. This is not responding. What just happened? I'm not even sure what just happened. It's like we disconnected, it felt like. Oh no, wait, here we go. We're here now. Okay, cool. All right, so there we created. We're stepping through. Excellent. I'm just going to hit run. And we see paw prints. That was the thing I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to do or not, is actually see them. So that's kind of my idea here, is that we do this. It's kind of more code, but everything that's here now moves over into here. It does impact ordering of layered effects, which in some cases might be an issue here. So we might find that in our back layer effects, we might have something on top or below another one. That was not the case. And I recall yeah, we might have to fix that if we see a problem, I guess. I'm going to worry about that later. But now I'm going to just start doing this. I'm going to see if I can find a way to optimize these code changes here. So let's do a second one to see how long it takes us to do a second one. So let's work with Fireball here. So step one is we do this. Step two is we cut this. Yeah, this piece right here, I wrote down as an important comment here. So this is going to impact things later. We might have to add an ordering kind of thing that says this goes after this or before this. We might have to add that. Hold hold on. I want to do this. Where did I take paw prints from? Paw prints was the back layer. It was one of these first ones up here. Let's do this. I'm going to wait till I see a problem. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut that to clipboard. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to create a property of type SPS, which is a type sprites. That's something I created a long time ago as we were building in the show. Custom template shortcut. And then we're going to come down in here and we're going to call this dice fireball. Like that. And we can get rid of that. If not dice fireball, then we're going to create it and add it. So there's dice fireball. Now let's go through everyone outside of here. And we're going to do just rename it so it uses the property. And that's it. That wasn't too bad. So now we've got fireball. Let's do clover ring. Cut it. Property of sprites. Clover ring. Oops, that's the one we want to keep that one. We want to get rid of that one. Okay. Is there something in JavaScript that allows me to do that? Just like I can do in C# that essentially says, hey, looks like no. Looking for a way to, if this is null, to do something on it. Otherwise, basically I'm looking for a shortcut to that code right there. That's kind of what I really need. Because I don't want to trigger a load. I don't want to trigger a load just by clearing residual effects. Oh, I don't like that. That's not fun. I see. So it's looking like this is what the code is. So it's this. It's simply just a statement like that. Wow. Okay. I'm kind of potentially into that. Do I need parens around it? Maybe I don't need parens. No idea. All right. I'll take that. That's a little bit easier. Wait, I have to do this. These have all got to turn into the lowercase one. Wait, hold on a second. This. No, I don't think I can do that because the sprites, Clover Right's going to be null. Yeah, Clover Right's going to be null. I feel like this might work. It's a syntax I'm not familiar with, but I can kind of see it. Well, you know what? If JavaScript allows me to essentially do this as a statement, which I think it does, even though nothing happens there, if it allows me to do that, right, then this should work, right? If this is null. Oh no, wait, this is not going to work because if this is, it should be not this, right? Not that. Or that. I think this is what's equivalent to the previous test. This is the line of code I want, that. And then my question is, are these two equivalent? I think it might be. I don't like that, Hugo. This that magic ring or an empty object dot sprites is equal to that. Yeah, I don't want to like create empty objects. That's going to give me so much anxiety. Yeah, so this is kind of what we're looking at here. Oh. Then I get out I get rid of the not. Okay. I'm a little happier with that. Uh-oh. I just marked this as, oops, this is a CodeRushed issue. That took a long time. Let me just write the time down on this. Hold on, I got it. Something to mark the time here. Marked it. I just marked CodeRushed issue. But I should also specify the time here, which looks like it's about 2 or 3. As far as 3 minutes in, perf issue on that. Control Alt Jam. Okay, so I want to take that, and I wanted to take this. So I'll go back, copy that to the clipboard, and then now I should be able to come down to here and what was it? There's the Control Alt V working. Okay, good. So now I can paste these down and put the other pieces in here. So now that means if I come down here, Control Alt V, I can paste magic ring in. Good. And let's do it with all of these. Control Alt V, bad luck ring. Got magic ring all over it. Ready? All right, so let's go. get some of these in here. So we're going to work on these magic ring. Padlock ring, I think is one of those. Oops, not there. To the padlock ring where it is. We're okay with it there. Good. All right, so that's done. Okay. Let's go back. Continue to work our way down. Freeze. And you came in and cleaned up after me, says Hugo. Wait, what's happening? Oh, yes. That's correct. So there's freeze. Okay, let's see where that is showing up. We don't need this. Okay, that one. So one of the things that I'm using here is I'm using super mega copy or mega super copy, where I used multi-select to grab the pieces I wanted to change. Then I'm pressing Control-Alt-V to paste that in. And what's cool about that is I can now combine that with the regular clipboard. Once I've done a super mega copy on here, I can now combine it with a regular clipboard, and it doesn't destroy the mega copy. So that means I can come down here and grab like Damage Radiant, copy that to the clipboard, come down here and hit Control-Alt-V, and then paste it in. I pasted it in both places. So that super mega copy is out there for me already. So, all right, we're just gonna keep going through and work our way down here. Freeze Pop is next. All right, let's see where this occurs. Outside, do that one. This is the cool thing about tab index reference. I'm just jumping out to where I want to use, where I want to see it, where it's being used. And we can go clear it out in those places. Hit escape to get back and just keep tabbing to find my way through here. And so now it's here in the property getter and the setter and here in this piece where we clear it out. And I'm just going to bring this up here as we kind of work our way down. And we do these, I'll hit the Control-Alt-V again, and then grab Freeze Pop and paste it up here. And we get it in both places like that. Okay, so there's that code. Let's go back up. Spark trail is next. What's super interesting to me is if this makes a significant difference, and I think it really has a shot of it, making a pretty significant difference on the loading speed of this, that will be like super cool. I forget which one this was. If not this guy's something, I don't remember what it is. It is Spark Trail, that's what it is. Okay, so it's not Spark Trail. I'm gonna go find every reference to Spark Trail out there. Whoops, this should be this dot. Okay. There, clear that one. That's it. Okay, Spark Trail's done. D20 fire. I'm going to take these two and put them way down at the bottom. Oops. Oh, man. Sorry about that, kids. Just going to get that music coming back in again. All right, Dice Portal is next. Get some funk. Let's look at Dice Portal where that's used. There we go. And that's the only place it's used. Good. Okay, so there's Dice Portal is done. Hand grabs dice. Cool. Excellent. Going to EDM, huh? Am I doing that? Oh, I'm doing that with my keyboard. We'll keep it on funk. And grabs dice bottom. Okay. You know, instead of manually doing this, you should be able to change sprites and part, I think. That's really interesting. Yeah, kind of. The problem we have here is that we need to know the sprite width once the image is loaded. Yeah, no, I hear it. Part can save the parameters and only do the load the first time the image is requested. Also, if we need to know what the sprite width is, or the sprite height, if we ask for that. All right, this is a really good, interesting approach. Oops. You'll get the event when the part loads the image. I only think set is frame count in part constructor. So my thoughts on this are, I can put a property on images. Yeah. I think if I make images, yeah, what if I did this? This is a super interesting idea. Let's make a property called images. Let's see what we need to do here. This is the loading code. It looks like this. The only way to, the only change to sprites is the code you commented. Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got this. I think I got this. Let's see. Looks like frames to load. Frames to count. So let's see what we're missing here. Get rid of all of that. That's my num digits. That's all up here. Frame count was coming in, not used. So we're going to say this dot frame count. Okay. Make it private right here. You're going to want to say folder.assets because it gets overwritten. Yes, good point. Hold on. Okay. Frame count is not being used up here. Oh. I'm gonna do that. It looks like it was public. Let's go back and change it to public. Okay. Like that. Really good point, Will. Thanks for popping that out, for mentioning that. All right, so there's a shot at this working now, I think. Super interesting. If that's the case, we can undo some of the other work. Do we think we're ready to test it? I think we're running into problems. I think it's accessing, what's the worst that could happen? I'm pretty sure we got a problem that we are, we're accessing images in places we are not necessarily in control of. Hold on a second. But this is not good. This could be an infinite loop here. Let's go look at where images is grabbing. Let's do this here. I think we may have an infinite loop. Let's stop view and look at this a little closer. Draw by index, that's good. We want that there. Now, yeah, we're immediately asking for it here. So I think I need something like this. Image loaded equals base images loaded. Like that. Need to pass a callback to part from sprites. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about here. Change externally. No, I don't. And then base image loaded. I think it's going to look like this. Look like the body of this. Oh, and then we've got the onloaded function down here too. Oh, I didn't see this. I didn't notice this part. All right, let's... I'm getting there. What do you got? This won't work. I was just passing the first image into the callback. Let's look at that. Yeah, that's actually a great idea. I love it. First image. So now I think it looks like this. And then we've got to do this. Get rid of that. And we got to solve this part too. If you just use the callback inline like you had before, you won't need a bunch of changes. Hold on. Can we do this? All right, what do you think about that? Yes. Got a big fat yes over there. This should be image. So I don't have to bind in there because I'm using self from up above, right? Self is declared there, so I should be okay with the self here. Okay. All right, cool. Then we go down to loading the images. And after we do all this, are we in base animation? Yeah, we're in base animation, I think. Yeah, this dot images of 0 dot onload is equal to and we're calling the syntax correctly, this dot image. What did we just create up here? On image loaded. On image loaded and pass this. What's wrong here? Did I lose this? This won't work in the onload callback. Need self again. Need self right here. Oh, I see. Right, I got it. Of course. Yeah, I think it works if I do bind this here. That's it. And then we're going to grab self.images of 0. Okay, good. So that's getting closer. Let's go back out and look where everywhere images is referenced here. So draw by index uses it. That's totally good. Draw. We're back in this full circle. Okay, sprite width and sprite height. Now here's the thing. We're going to return back 0 sprite width and sprite height. Let's look at where we need these. Constructor, dry. By that time, that'll be good. Layout. By that time, they should be good. Fill rect should be good. Yeah. Good, good. Good. Right, no, but I'm asking, yeah, no, Will's saying you were setting those from the event before, so you should be good. But that's after they're loaded. I'm worried, is there any place where I need them before we load? And if that's the case, I want to create properties for sprite height and sprite width that trigger the load. That's what I'm trying to discover. But right now it looks like these are, I'm only using them for drawing things after I've already loaded the sprites. Or I'm using it for there's cropping, balancing. Yeah, all of these are for, I'm not using them until after I've created them or loaded them. I think I'm good. All right, let's try a refresh. Look at that. Look at how fast that came back in. Let's initialize the player data. Do we have anything drawing though? That's the question. Absolutely nothing when I clicked on a tab. Let me double check that, switching a different player. Bring the dice rolling in, nothing's coming out. I'm sad. Even worse, I did have some of that incomplete work over there.
Sad Panda!
Yeah, all right. I am going to take about a 1 minute break. And I will be back in about a minute and a half. All right, we are back. And trying to figure out why that's not working. So let's see if we can figure that out. Code myself is like, wow. Yeah, 55 seconds, 10 seconds. Yeah, I'm back. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Why is that not working? I really like this idea a lot. Why is it failing is our new question. I think we're going to have to step through this to figure this out. We've got a breakpoint here. I do like the load time of the dice roller, though. You got to love that load time right there. Let's do, if we do like a damage-only roll, why aren't we hitting our breakpoint? That's like my question. We're not ever getting here. Are we getting here? Nope, I don't seem to be getting there either. But could this be a Visual Studio issue? Set a breakpoint here. Hit the breakpoint. Visual Studio is not responding. Really? I don't think it was me. Breakpoint. Let's try one more time. Setting breakpoint there. Okay, we're there. And let's do, I don't know if I have to do a refresh or not. Just did an attack roll, nothing happened. Let's do a refresh. This would be an empty cache hardware load. Still loving that load time though. Nothing's happening. No breakpoint. Which makes me think I got to restart to explore this. Let's actually set one more breakpoint. Die roller. TS, please roll die. Can I get a breakpoint out here? Yeah, these are setting breakpoints. This doesn't make sense to me. That let's mark the time on this as well. And what are we at? We're at about 2:43. And the note here is that setting breakpoints is, and then I just cleared it, and is leading to Visual Studio claiming that CodeRushed is causing a performance issue here. So we need to figure out what that is. Let's actually do one thing to check here. Let's turn this off, turn off our debugger, and see if that is our problem. Is that our problem? Maybe it is us on here. Okay, that's the CodeRushed debug visualizer I just turned off. Maybe that is the problem. Okay. So please roll dice. Let's see if we can trigger that breakpoint. Huh. Got a breakpoint triggered, I think. Well, let's run it. You know, the thing I just realized I didn't check, I think. Did I fail to check the console window? Okay, good. Okay. Oh, I've got the or there instead of the and for the halos. Let's go look at that. And I think we also have some problems there because we left a bunch of stuff in dice layer like that. Let's go back to the whole thing. Let's undo this whole thing. All these changes we made. Is this exciting? And we're down to here now. It won't let us do any more without claiming that it's going to impact all over the place. You are dangerous, is the claim. Yeah, I'm determined to make this work. I'm pretty theoretically this should totally work. It's a really cool idea. All right, so fix those pieces there. Let's do another refresh. All right. Run an attack. Nothing happens on the attack. Anything in the console? Cool. Minimum call stack size exceeded. Oh, cool. 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 Wait, how did I get those? Oh, I didn't take those away. Freeze. Let's go look at that. That's going to be a problem right there. But I don't really need this anymore. I think I need to get freeze back down in there. All those other pieces back down. So let's do this. Let's take this. Kill freeze. Wait, did I have that twice? Wait, what happened down here? Okay, oh, it's freeze pop. Okay, got it. Okay, so there's freeze pop. I'm with it. I'm with you now. Okay, down here, there's freeze pop. Yeah, you're saying I can leave them for now. I'm clearing it all out. Freeze, because I want to kind of get the order back. I kind of like the not touching this code at all. And almost done. All right, let's keep going. Grab these one at a time. Paste. Come back up, get the next one. Dice Fireball. I feel like we're at the beginning, really close to it. Pop Rinse, that's the one we started with. Let's kill all these. Okay, all those are gone. Let's rename these pieces. That's not good. Whoa. So that last, I'm going to mark the time on that last one too. Hold on a second, just go back a few seconds. I hit 249, 250, 248 probably, 249. I hit left arrow fast after the rename, and then we saw a whole bunch of things up there selected otherwise. I'm not sure if that was Visual Studio or CodeRushed or some combo of the two. So let's take a look at that. Freeze. Like that. Freeze. And there it is, freeze pop, and I think that's it. Look at what we got to do here. These have all got to go underneath. So we've got another error. They go here, save, let's refresh. I don't think it's going to fix it yet, but let's see how we're doing here. There's the refresh, it's coming in. Just sent the data over. Let's do damage only attack. Oh, we're here, that's not bad. Let's hit a run. Whoa. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. It flashes the first time as we're getting it, but from the purposes of coming in very quickly and saying, okay, let's do an acid test. Here it is right here. And you can see the pieces are loading up. It's like really nice. Oh, is that awesome or what? That is so awesome. Okay, cool. So that means now if we come in and refresh our drone game over here, my dog wants to go outside, I think. We'd refresh the drone game and like the dragon front overlay, all of these, scroll overlay, refresh all of those. Those should load up pretty quickly. Although it's interesting, we don't have coins, right? If I launch a drone, can I get a drone out though? I can get a drone. Ooh, But look at that. That's the sprite width and height thing that we were talking about before. Is the event not coming back? And why don't we have coins? Coins are going to be interesting in there. Let's do drop. Okay, that works. Oh, its location is of the bomb is off as well, though. I'm sure it's the sprite width thing. Oh, there, the second time it was good, though. Let's bring in some music and see what happens. That guy comes in. The launch works. Shoots work. All right. So it's not bad. The load time is much faster. Now we're gonna, yeah, the explosions aren't lined up. It's that sprite width and height problem is what it is. I'm pretty sure that's the problem. So not bad though, getting really close to fixing this in a way that is not bad. So that's over in sprites. The problem is here and here. You can load the first and then load the rest later. Ooh, I like that. That's like freaking brilliant. Brilliant, Will. Like,
Bill Bennett rocks.
serious level of brilliance. I love it. We're gonna go do that. Okay. All right. So now that slightly changes our images thing now. Do we load one? Let's do this. I think we're gonna need a Boolean here. Loaded all images, like that. And we're gonna say this dot loaded all images is equal to false, like that. And then we're gonna load it, some images there. We're gonna load at least one. Okay. I would extract the loading property to a method and pass frame count as 1 in the constructor as the actual frame count in the getter. Yeah, and then I guess what I'm thinking though is that I also kind of want a starting index here of it as well. Absolute index starts at 0. So this is my start index right here. Check the length of this dot images. That's actually a really neat idea too. I think that's the key right there. So we subtract the image length here. We do our for loop. And we risk calling image loaded twice, but we could do. Yeah, we could put the. Let's extract this. We'll take all of this, including the comment out. If you extract that code to function, you pass in a parameter that determines if you break early after loading the first image. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I think that's fair as well, Will, that I only need to do the callback when I'm doing the initial load of the image, of the one image. I think that's correct. I'm almost thinking yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of playing with how to do this. Interesting, it didn't extract the comments. Copper Beardy, rating with a party of 38. Oh, I hope we do some good coding for you guys. And welcome in, kids. Copper Beardy, thank you so much. Twitch raid. Command animation's only one frame. Yeah, I'm thinking you need a bool to say whether you are calling from the constructor or not. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that. Something like, but I was thinking, yeah, okay. All right, so let's do this. VB, only load one image. Kids, welcome from Copper Beardy's stream. How was your stream over there, kids? We are in the middle of optimizing some code that loads up like about a half gig of PNG files, and we're optimizing it so it loads very quickly and loads on demand. And we're just working through some minor issues with that. We essentially got that kind of working, but because of the load order of things, because that's been changed, our ability to calculate the width of the sprites is it's incorrect at our first test, and that's sometimes impacting some of the game elements. So we just did a test. In fact, we did a test, and there should be coins all the way around the screen, and there are no coins. So that's kind of what we're doing here. So our workaround to that is we're going to load one image instead of a whole sequence for each of the different animations that are out there, and we're going to give that a shot. So only load one. So if that's the case, we come down here and we say only load one. We're going to come down here and we're going to say, hey, if only load one, then total frames to load is one. That's what we're going to do. And Let's see, is that going to be enough? Index string round absolute start index. And maybe we don't need this code here that incorporates the image length. And then we just, do we force a reload? It's slightly wasteful to force a reload of the whole thing. Yeah, I'm going to keep this code here so we don't do that. We're going to then add to that. Absolute start index is equal to length. That feels good. Refactored later to do dependent on timing with regards to the sizes. I think this is going to work, and I think this is going to be efficient. That's my guess right here. So that this code right here is going to say if we've already added one image and we come in to add more, it's going to tell us how many we have to add, that sort of thing. And then we should get into this loop here. We trigger the event. Now the question is, should we trigger the event only on only load one? And I'm kind of thinking yes, we should. Only trigger it on the first load, so we don't get multiples of these. So we'll come down here with only load one. Then we're going to do that. I am not sure why this extract function thinks that we want to return an image and an actual frame count. Oh, because of we're setting those. I see what's happening here. Hold on a second. Okay, let's look at only load one is going to be, I think, false here. That. So we need the frame count there. But guess what? I can put that down inside of here. Inside of load images. We don't really need that. Yeah, that's a good point. Frame count is just the length of this dot images. I would agree with that. I don't think I need to return that image at all. Returning like the last image. I think I'm okay with that. Taco lovers unite. Michael Jolly's with us. Michael Jolly, welcome.
Michael Jolly is in the house.
Adrian Hall says, I've got 3 to 4 active streams going on at the moment, learning all the codes. Saw that go earlier, but I didn't say it out loud. Thanks for that comment, Adrian. Yeah, so here we are. I feel like we are almost about ready to try this out. So here's a load image false from here. This is problematic though, right here. I can't set that there. Well, I can, but that forces a reload. This is TypeScript. This one I think doesn't make sense anymore. And I think what now makes sense is the constructor doing this followed by this.load all images, but really only load one. Right? Is that what it is? No, not that. Hold on. Load images. Only load one, true. Like that. So we're going to load only one image there. And that, I think, has a shot of working. So that will get our sizes correct. Let's see if we've broken anything. Let's refresh our die roller. This is a dungeon for Dungeons and Dragons stream, and let's try sending the player data out and send some damage. Okay, I'm hearing the effect, but I'm not seeing the damage effect. What am I missing? Did not load them. Hold on. What's my failure here? Caught your talk on Venomous DB reliability engineering last night on the Tube of Views. Good stuff. That's from Michael Jolly Bader and Hall. Cool. Okay. Well, let's see what's going on here. I'm not dropping meteors out. Oh, Red, thanks for checking that out. Seems good. All right. Load all images is false. Load images true. This might load only one. Well, I think we got a set breakpoint. Let's see what we got. Try again. Let's
Doing the damage.
choose a different effect, bludgeoning, and try it. That should give us a breakpoint. Okay. Total frames to load, 0. Wait, which? Oh, you know what? This might make sense. Let's run it down to here. What's our total frames to load? 0. I'm going to change it. Why is my count going to 0 every time? Let's do cold damage. Here comes cold damage. Frames load is 0. Frame count is 1. Frames to load. Why is my frame count low? In load images, is this my problem that I'm not setting my frame count? Frame count is set here on the way in. Seems like it is changing. Here is my problem. I load the first image up and then I say you've only got one image in that, I think is the problem. Then that gets me the errors later. So I don't want to set frame count to actual frame count, I think is the answer to the question. I want to do that only if we're not loading only one. I think that's going to fix it. So let's continue to run and then we're going to refresh. Got a little bit of some imagery there. That's good. Let's do a refresh. Cool. Initializing player data. Ooh, I'm sending it, but nothing's coming across. That is I think it means that I've lost signal off. Might have to restart my WPF app. It looks like that's not working. Okay, so let's close that down. Close that down. My neighbors still have that boombox. But Michael Jelly says, I think I used to have that boombox in the early 90s. Yeah. Used to use that cassette to record songs on the radio. Using this up from that's why, yeah. So I think we are, I think that we've solved the same problem here, Will, you and I. I think we might be good. Let's start it up one more time. So kids, we're making special effects die rolling, got a game engine. We are trying to get this thing to load faster. Let's clear this breakpoint, keep it going. I thought I had run. Come on. Another breakpoint. Let's come over here. Let's switch it over to the die roller. Waiting for the data to be initialized. There's the initialization that cleared it, so signal is working. Now let's try and attack a damage roll here. Let's set some damage to acid. There we go. And nice and fast. Let's switch over to necrotic damage. So what I'm about to do is not, the assets for this have not been loaded, so we should see flicker as it tries to load them and then gets them. So here comes the roll. Yeah, there's some flicker there. The first time but cool. Once that's done though and loaded, let's do 6 of those damage dice. Let's do some D12s here. One of my favorite shaped dice. Here it comes again, and this should be totally smooth. Nice. Nice. Now let's refresh on the live stream. We're going to refresh the live stream over here. And look at that. We get coins now. The coins have been fixed. Also, we did a few other tests that were showing failure that I think are going to probably work. If I do this, if I do...
is in the house.
This is pretty cool because now we got a fast load time here. So now if we come in and we say, let's drop, let's do the music.
Legendary is in the house.
It's a little messy. It's like, and there we go. I feel like we actually created something super awesome. We've got this thing loading so much faster than before. We've got like probably a full gigabyte of PNGs out there that support all the animation for the show, the explosions, all of the... comes Michael Jolly.
Michael Jolly is in the house.
Like that, yeah. Killer. Okay, Michael. Michael seems to always know when the fanfares have been reset, so we can come right in with a taco-related theme message to say hello. Yeah, Adrian Hall's like, whoa, that's wild. Yeah, we've got fanfares for some of our regulars out here. Adrian, you want to hang out with us more often? You can have one of these.
Is in the house.
And typically, you only get here once. You only get here once. Michael Jolly says he's lurking here all the time. So let me show you this. This is super cool stuff. If you haven't seen the dice rolling effects here, we've got, this is our Dungeons and Dragons kind of control app. It's going to get much simpler in the future, but right now, this is just to help us very quickly roll the dice here. This is for a separate Dungeons and Dragons stream called Dragon Humpers. It's a comedy Dungeons and Dragons game that I'm building the live effects for. And those include things, for example, the scrolls that show the data up here. Whoops, let me initialize that player data here. and we'll switch over here. We got a bit of a perf issue here we have to go find on the scrolling here. We got to go figure out that perf issue. What's going on with that? It could be because Will started up the blue ball emitter effect, and so we've got these particle systems that are running both the special effects for the scroll and also for the other ones you see on screen here. So I think that's probably why we've got that. You see a little bit of particles in the upper left there. But this basically allows us to highlight the players, and we can hide that scroll too. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, a little bit of a delay on that. Let's see if it's any faster now. There we go. And hiding the scroll. Still a little slow there. Yeah, the emitter particle system is slowing things down a bit. And each of these players have a different kind of attack that's out there. Hold on a second. Let's get that scroll overlay. I'm going to do a refresh on that. And so, for example, Ava has got a. In fact, let's do this on the. Let's do this on the mainstream here. Hold on a second. You can see the dice effect right on the mainstream. It's not working. Hold on a second. Let's go in and refresh the 3D dice page. See if that's going to be enough to get that to work on the live stream or not. Initialize player data. There we go. Okay, and so now, if it's, say for example, it is Ava's turn. Here, let's make it Ava's turn. Yeah, look at that. We've got that. This might be new, though. I wonder, is that new or not? This might be new with the changes we just made. Yeah, something's wrong with that. Let me go in and actually try right-click there and refresh that cache as well. So Ava's got a killer attack, a special attack called the Paladin Smite. And her attack looks like this with no specific damage. So there's the Paladin Smite there. And I've got 6 D12s out there.
Look at all that damage!
Got a lot of damage, but a total miss. But I can specify a certain kind of damage. Like I can come in and say necrotic damage like we saw before. So we do that same attack again. Let me drop down the number of dice to maybe 3 damage dice. Roll the attack. And there you can see them kind of coming out. I'm getting a little bit of...
Critical hit!
Let's mute this side right here because we're getting some interference with the other one. So that's what you're going to see live on the stream when the dice come out. Here's acid damage. You should see it load up as we come out here. So when we throw the attack roll, the acid loads up, so it kind of was a little slow there to come up. We'll change it to bludgeoning. Let's try that. Here it comes. So there's a little bit of flashing the first time it comes up, but once it's up, then a second roll. Let's clear the dice there. And a second roll now should be totally smooth. There you go. That's bludgeoning. So each of the damaging effects, and this is the first time you've seen this, these are damaging effects for the Dungeons & Dragons dice. So there are different kinds of damage. And I'm just specifying those right out here. What's the damage type here? So I'm going to specify cold next, and we'll run the attack roll. And you can see that. What it's going to look like. Kind of cool stuff. Here's fire. So each time I change this, we're loading up the assets. So if the assets don't take long to load up, you won't see any flicker at all. Here's the force. Here's the force damage. I'm going to do that combined with this. Well, here's the force damage by itself. There you go. Cool. So the red dice are the damage dice. And here's it combined with a sneak attack. So a sneak attack has its own special effects. If I do a sneak attack and I'm using force damage, that roll is going to look like this. Get that smoky poof that occurs. Very cool stuff. Lightning damage looks like this. Cool. necrotic you've seen before. It was this one. Super cool. M1 D10
Oh, and look at all that
now
damage.
following. Thanks for that follow. Excellent. What else we got? Piercing damage is kind of fun. Nice. That looks good. Yeah, they're loading up fast enough to generally you don't really see the flicker. There's poison. Nice. Here comes psychic damage next. Yeah, these are all loading up fast. Nice. So super high quality change that we made this show, because
Critical hit.
we were waiting minutes for 1 or 2 minutes for like I say, probably about a gigabyte of PNGs to load up. And now we're just loading them all on demand. We essentially created an on-demand solution to the problem. Here's radiant damage with the Paladin Smite attack. Yeah, it all loads up so fast we don't even see it.
Critical hit.
Yeah, super cool. What else do we got? Slashing damage. Nice. And last one, thunder damage. He's going to be jealous, that's right. That's right. There you go, thunder damage at the end. So super cool. Let's do a couple other tests of this. We had problems with the scroll and rolling, so we got to look at that. What's going on with that? Because I'm not sure if that's an intermittent issue or not. I want to throw out a Chaos Bolt attack. And this is a special attack where these two 8-sided dice determine the damage. So it's after they roll, the 3 means fire and the 4 means force. And so I get to, as a sorcerer, get to choose which of the two to use. So it's looking gorgeous. I'm loving that, and sounding good too. Wild magic throw. Yeah, it's all loading fast. All of these effects are loading one at a time on demand as needed. Yeah. Wild animal form attack. Little flicker there.
Oh, so embarrassing. That was a spectacular miss.
Cool. All right, feeling pretty good about that. What else? The last test we should do is on the actions here. So on consume for potion. Let's test that. Oh, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? That's too bad. So that's something we'll have to look into in terms of why these particular effects are not working. Yeah, none of them are working. Okay. Well, we'll have to take a look at that and see what's going on with those particular effects. Yeah, you just, Will Bennett just tried to test Fireball effect, and that also failed to work. Not sure why that is. What's on the Dragon Front overlay? Let me refresh that. Cache. Alright, and now let's see if this works now. There we go. Okay, cool. So let's initialize the player data on that. Go back over here to items. Let's go take a look at this. So on consume, test the effect. Drink a potion. Okay, cool. Oh, wrong player selected. Let's make me be the selected player. And now test it. Boom. So that's what happens when I consume a potion. When I equip it, you can have a special effect as well, like that. Fireball, what are you doing over there? Clear that to active player. Special effect. There we go. So when I equip that, and if somebody throws it at me, oh, man. So what's cool is all of these effects are now being loaded up dynamically. No data in the scroll, says Will Bennett. Yeah, I noticed that, but I think that's The data out here is okay. On the stream, the data on in this piece, is it matching? Yeah, it looks like it is actually matching. I think it wasn't there because yeah, I don't know. I need to look. I need to maybe review that, see what's going on. So anyway, that's it. Let's go see where we're going to send you off to. Actually, kind of we made some serious progress on here. Let's see who is out there that we are following. Instafluff. Let's take you to Instafluff. You're going to love him if you haven't seen him yet. Instafluff. Maybe you didn't do initialized player data at the time. Yeah. Yeah, great pull request is legendary move. Well, the PR, we actually weren't able to finish that up. We're gonna look at that and see what's going on with that. But the essence of what we did, I think, is we accomplished what we wanted to do here. Michael Jelly says, always so much fun. Thanks for the stream. We're getting ready to raid you over to Instafluff. Got some cool outgoing music. And kids, we will see you tomorrow. Hold on, let me get the music off as we get through the exit code out of here. Cool music. Yeah, our particle system needs some performance checking, it looks like. And here we go.